त्रयाधीशस् तत्रास्मदीय विमर्शेन कियानि हार्तः विश्वस्य स्थितिलयोद्भव हेतुराद्यो योगेश्वररपि दुरत्यय योगमायः क्षेमं विदास्यति स नो भगवान् त्रयाधीशस् तत्रास्मदीय विमर्शेन कियानि हार्तः
विश्वस्य स्थितिलयोद्भव हेतुराद्यो योगेश्वरेण विवृत्यय योगमायः इमं विदास्यति स भगवान् त्रयाधीशस् तत्रास्मदीया विमृशेन कियानि हार्तः
विश्वस्य of the universe, yaha, who, sthiti, maintenance, laya, destruction, udbhava, creation, hetuhu, the cause, adyaha, the most ancient person, yoga ishwaraihi, by the masters of yoga, api, even, duratyaya, cannot be easily understood. Yoga-māyā, his yoga-māyā potency. Kshemam, good. Vidashyati, will do. Saha, he. Naha, of us. Bhagavams, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Triyadishaha, the controller of the three modes of material nature. Tatra, there. Asmadiya, bayar. Vimarshena, deliberation. Kiyan, what? Iha, on this subject. Artaha, purpose. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. My dear sons, the Lord is a controller of the three modes of material nature and is responsible for the creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. His wonderful creative power, yoga-māyā, cannot be easily understood even by the masters of yoga. That ancient person, the Supreme, the Personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? Please repeat the translation. My dear sons, the Lord is the controller of the three modes of nature and is responsible for the creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. His wonderful creative power, yoga-māyā, cannot be easily understood even by the masters of yoga. That most ancient person, the Personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be at reverse according to one's calculations. For example, sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed or sometimes he is put into difficulty, just as Haridas Thakur was. He was a great devotee who came into this material world to execute the will of the Lord by preaching the Lord's glories. But Haridasa was punished at the hands of the Kaji by being beaten in 22 marketplaces. Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified and Prahlad Maharaj was put through so many tribulations. The Pandavas, who were direct friends of Krishna, lost their kingdom. Their wife was insulted and they had to undergo many severe tribulations. Seeing all these reverses affect devotees, one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of God. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by such reverses. He accepts even the reverse conditions as the grace of the Lord. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse conditions is assured that he will go back home, back to Godhead, back to the Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. Darshan see Bhaktivedanta purport of the third canto, 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Two Doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, cursed by the sages. Namamo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Brahma is concluding his instruction to the demigods. He started explaining about the Lord's position and devotee's position here. Vishwasya yastiti layodbhava heturadhyaha. The Lord, who is the creator, Vishwasya, Sthiti, Udbhava, Layaha. He is the creator, he is the maintainer, and he is the destroyer of the entire universe. Adhyaha, he is the original person, the ancient person, Adhya. Yogeshwarer api duratyaya yoga-māyā. The Lord is difficult to be understood by the masters of the yogi because of the yoga-māyā potency. He is covered by that yoga-māyā. So even the greatest yogis cannot understand the Lord. Yogeshwar api duratyaya. Why it is duratyaya? Yoga-māyā. By his internal potency he is covered. Kshemam vidashyati sano bhagavan srayadishaha. Since he is the controller of the three modes of this material nature, trayadishaha. Kshemam vidashyati sano bhagavan. The Lord will be doing good for us. Kshemam vidashyati means he will do good for us. Tatra asmadiya vimurshena kiyani hartaha. Asmadiyaha, we are his servants. So what is the point in we deliberating upon the subject? Vimarshena. Kiyani hartaha. What is the purpose in trying to contemplate why this darkness is there? What could be the result or how it is going to impact? So there is no point in deliberating on this subject. So that's what Brahma is trying to update the demigods. My dear sons, the Lord is the controller of the three modes of material nature. Bhagavan Striyadishaha, and is responsible for creation, preservation and dissolution of the universe. Vishwasya yastiti layodbhava hetuhu. He is the cause, hetuhu, the reason, the root. His wonderful creative power, yoga-māyā, cannot be easily understood by the masters of yoga. Yogeshwarair api duratyayaha. Duratyaya means it is impossible. The most ancient person, Adhyaha, will alone come to our rescue. Kshemam vidyashyati sahanaha. He will come to our rescue. Kshemam, for the well-being, he will come back to us. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? Kiyani hardaha tatra asmadiya vimurshena. So what is the point in deliberating? So there is no point of discussion about the details. Why we have to do what we have to do. So this also puts one more perspective. The surrender of the devotees. Once you completely surrender, you do not think of Lord's will. Let it happen as Lord desires. You do not try to contemplate why, when, where, how, because you are completely surrendered. So Brahma is saying, surrender to the situation, surrender to the Supreme Lord, he will take care of the result. So when something is arranged by the Supreme Lord, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be reverse according to one's calculation. At that particular moment, we are trying to see it is a reverse. It's not good for us. But we should simply accept this as because this is planned by the Lord. Like Prabhupada was giving examples of great devotees being tortured. Jesus Christ was crucified by his own people. Prahlad Maharaj was tortured by his own father. He was punishing Haridas Thakur. He was bet in 22 marketplaces. The reason was because he was chanting the holy name of the Lord. He was asked to forfeit this chanting of the holy name and accept forgiveness from Allah. But he said, no, I am going to continue. The local people who are all against these perspectives, they instigated the king. King was very much, he could understand he is a fakir. Fakir means one who is advanced in understanding, advanced in knowledge. He is like a yogi. But Haridas Thakur was emphasized that either he leave the holy name or he has to die. What is the punishment for that dying? 22 marketplaces he will be bet. Beating of what? Of heavy category. So when he was bet in one marketplace, the people were coming and begging at the feet of that persons who were hitting him. Please forgive him, I'll give you some money. I'll take care of you, don't hit him. But Haridas Thakur was so engrossed in chanting that he did not feel not even a pinch on his body. His commitment, he surrendered to the Lord. At one place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals all that beating was taken by him because the sincere devotee was engaged in his service. The Lord took that punishment upon himself. So why this punishment happened? Why this beating itself is sanctioned by the Lord? Because who was Haridas Thakur in his previous life? Whose incarnation was Haridas Thakur? Lord Brahma. So Brahma thought he did an offense by trying to test the Lord in Brahma Vimohan Leela. He wanted to check whether Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead or not. Because he doubted Krishna's potency and he tried to play around by kidnapping the boys. So he thought, I have done a great offense and this offense has to be counteracted by me by voluntarily accepting a punishment. So this is, in this perspective, Haridas Thakur as Brahma was voluntarily accepting that punishment for the thing he had committed an offense to Lord Krishna in his previous Krishna Leela. This is what Acharya's understanding we come across. Now Prahlad Maharaj, what wrong he did? He was chanting the holy name of the Lord. But father was so much against, he did not want. Prahlad Maharaj, why when all the demigods approached Lord Vishnu, what is the solution from Hiranyakashipu? The solution given by Lord Krishna was, Lord Vishnu was, the more the Hiranyakashipu tortures the pure devotee Prahlad, the more he is faster, he is inviting his death. So in that way, he had accelerated the death of his father so that the entire universe can become peaceful. And for pure devotees, it is not even bothered because they were completely surrendered. Like when Prahlad Maharaj was thrown away from the cliff, he was only chanting the holy name, Lord Narayana came and caught him. So when the elephant was asked to trample upon this boy, the Lord inspired the elephant not to touch him. When he was put into the boiling oil, it was like a cold water for him, it was not at all boiling oil. So when he was put among snakes, poisonous snakes, the Lord as Paramatma inspired them not to touch. When he was given a pot of poison, he offered first to the Lord. It became Amrita, nectar. It could not impact upon him. Because of their exclusive surrender to the Lord, Lord took over the situation and completely protected. At one place he protected, some places he would have sanctioned for the devotee to be suffering also. Now it is up to the Lord. That's the principle of surrender. You simply surrender without expecting what Lord has to do for me. So, Jiva Goswami explains about this. What is this surrender? About this verse he explains. We all offer prayers. When we offer these prayers, we say Namaha in the first. What does the meaning of Namaha means? We offer our obeisances. But Shastric evidence from Padma Purana, Jiva Goswami quotes, what is the meaning of this Namaha? He says, Ahankriter makaraha syan nakaraha tan nishedakaha tasmatu namasa chatra swatantriyam pratishidyate. The syllable ma means false ego. And the syllable na means that which forbids. When we offer our obeisances, we are saying, I am offering my false ego unto you. Ahankara we are offering at the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus the word Namaha means that the individual spirit soul, the knower of the field of activities, is not permitted to act independently. That is the actual meaning of Namaha. I offer my obeisances, I offer my Ahankara unto the Lord. Most of the times we would have seen devotees before start of the Arati and after the end of the Arati we pay obeisances. In the Mangalarati we offer 7 items. What is the significance of these 7 items? Is there any special logic in these 7 items? So Shastra says, Krishna, since he is the origin of everything, the Pancha Bhuta, what is he, how is this material world made of? Bhumirapanalo Vayu, Kam Mano Buddhirevacha. These are the 8 main elements by which the entire universe is pervaded. See, all the 8 elements are offered in the service of the Lord in this Arati. So when you pay obeisances, it is the false ego first thing what you are offering. Then Agarbatti represents mind. How? The fragrance goes everywhere. Mind goes everywhere. Then next, fire Arati. Water. Handkerchief and flowers represent earth. Chamara represents ether. And Vyanjana items are over. Then there is one intelligence. And the 7 times you have to keep track of everywhere. You are using your intelligence there. So in that way, all the 8 elements which have taken source from the Lord are offered unto the Lord. So there is a logic in between. We may think, because we don't understand the subject, we are not clear about why we are offering only these items. Because Lord is the proprietor of all these 8 elements, the 8 elements are offered in the service of the Lord. Next, further it says, Bhagavat paratatrosau tada yattas cha jivati tasvat swasamartya vidyim tajet sarvam asheshataha. Bhagavat para tantro asau. The individual jiva is completely dependent upon the Supreme Lord. His life and livelihood is completely dependent upon the Lord. Therefore, he should abandon completely all ideals that he is independent. He is explaining further. When jiva is completely dependent, he cannot think of any individual perceptions. Because all his manasa, vacha, karmana, everything he has to completely surrender to the Lord. Ishvarasya tu samartyam nalabhyam tasya vidyate tasmin yasya bhava sete tat karmaiva samasharet. Because the Supreme Lord is completely independent, nothing is unattainable for him. He has no troubles, he can do whatever he wishes. That is the position of the Lord. Lord is completely independent, jiva is completely dependent. He can never desire anything independently. So further it says explanations about the surrender perspective. This is from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Ahaikara nivrittanam keshavo nahi duragaha ahankara yutanam hi madhye parvata rasayaha. So Lord Krishna is never far from those who are very humble. For humble and meek, the doors of heaven are open. Bible also says that. So when we are humble enough, then we can easily access the Lord. Ahankara yutanam hi madhye parvata rasayaha. But those who are proud of ahankara, false ego, there are so many huge mountains standing in between him and the Supreme Lord, it seems. Right? For those who are humble, there is, even though Lord is very far, he is very near to them. For those who are very proud, even though Lord is very near, in between them huge mountains are standing in between. That is because of false ego. Next. Karpanyam, one of the principles of what are the 6 aspects of surrender? Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishiti vishwasaha, goptrutve varnam tata, atma nikshepa karpanye, shadvida sharanagati. So surrender itself has 6 items. Anukulyasya sankalpa means accepting all that is favorable in the service of the Lord. Pratikulyasya varjanam, rejecting everything which is not favorable in the service of the Lord. Rakshishiti iti vishwasaha, having complete faith that Lord will protect me. Goptrutve varnam tata, accepting the Lord as one's maintainer. Atma nikshepa karpanye, Atma nikshepa means self-surrender. Karpanya means being completely humility. These are the 6 principles of surrender. Now, Karpanya has been explained by Rupa Goswami. He says, Parama karuniko no bhavet parama sochiyatamo nacha mat para iti adi prakaram. He says, O Lord, no one is more merciful than you, and no one is more pathetic than me. I am very lowly and fallen. O Lord of Yadunada, please reflect on my case and do whatever is appropriate. So Rupa Goswami is saying, I am the most useless person. Is Rupa Goswami the most useless person? He is the best of the personalities. The mood in which how he is approaching the Lord, he is saying, I am the most insignificant person, I am most useless person, and you are the most merciful person. So take my case and show your mercy upon me. This is the symptom of Karpanya, humility. Next, Goptrutve Varanam is explained in Narasimha Purana. Tvam prapannosmi sharanam deva devam janardanam itiya sharanam prapratas tam kleshad uddharamiyaham. So accepting the Lord as one's guardian, Goptrutva means, where Lord Narasimha says, Tvam prapannosmi sharanam. So those who have accepted me as my shelter by completely surrender unto me, and Deva Deva Janardanam, and who prays upon me, O Supreme Lord, and take shelter of me, Itiya sharanam praptas tam kleshad uddharamiyaham. And I protect him, I become his protector, and I protect him from all sorts of calamities. Kleshad uddharamiyaham. I will uplift him from all the anxieties. Kleshas means difficulty situations. Tadapi tripakaram. This again Brahma Purana it says, Karamana manasa vacha ye achyutam sharanam gataha. So those who take shelter of Lord Krishna, manasa, vacha, karmana, na samardo yamastesham te mukti phala bhaginaha. Even Yamaraja has no access to these people. And they become liberated just because of their manasa, vacha, karmana, they have surrendered to the Lord. Mukti phala bhaginaha. They become the recipient of mukti phala, liberation, because of accepting Achyuta Sharanam. In Hari Bhakti Vilas also it says, Tavasmiti vadan vacha tataiva manasa vidan tatstanam ashritas-tanva modate sharanagataha. So one who with his words and thoughts say, O my Lord, I am yours. Tavasmiti. Tava asma iti. From today, I am yours. And one who surrenders his body to the Lord becomes filled with transcendental bliss. The complete spiritual happiness is bestowed upon that person who says, from today, I am yours to the Lord. So quoting this from Uddhava Gita, where Uddhava is saying to the Lord, Tapatraya abhihitasya gore santapyamanasya bhavad dvanshita pashyami nanyat sharanam tavangri dvandvata patrad amrutabi varshat. He's saying, oh my dear Isha, oh my dear Lord, santyapa manasya gore advani bhavaha. This bhavaha, this cycle of birth and death, gore, it is very horrible. And santyapya manasya, and it is tormenting jivas in the cycle of birth and death. And tapatrayena abhihitasya, and is constantly overwhelmed by threefold miseries. Adhyatmik, adibhautik, adidyaivik. Jiva is completely tormented by these threefold miseries. Na pashyami anyat sharanam tava dvandva angri. I do not see any other shelter in this situation except your lotus feet, which are atapatrat amruta abhivarshat, which is like an umbrella which showers nectar upon me. In this material world, there is a complete shower of heavy rain, tapatraya. But the Lord's lotus feet are the umbrella which showers nectar upon us. And further it says, Sharanam tam prapannaye dhyana yoga vivarjitaha tevai mrutyum atikramya yanti tad vaishnavam padam. This is from Garuda Purana, it says, Sharanam tam prapannaye dhyana yoga vivarjitaha. Those who forsake all the meditation and every other process and completely accept the shelter of the Supreme Lord, tevai mrutyu atikramyaha, he overcomes the death. Atikramyaha yanti tad vaishnavam padam, and he attains to Vaikuntha planets. Again, shelter. By rejecting all the paths of yoga, meditation, everything and all you forsake. Only by bhakti you can reach the Supreme Lord. Then in Vamana Purana it says, Yo mantra sa guru sakshad, yo guru sa hari swayam, guru ryasya bhavet tushtas, tasya tushto hari swayam. Now how do I achieve liberation? You require a process for that liberation. Now what is the process for that liberation? Yo mantra sa guru sakshad. The mantra what we chant is identical with the guru, spiritual master. Yo guru sa hari swayam. That guru is identical with the Supreme Lord, Sakshad Hari. Guru ryasya bhavet tushtaha, when guru becomes satisfied, tasya tushto hari swayam, when the Supreme Lord becomes satisfied. So when we chant the holy name, when Prabhupada was asked, what pleases you the most? What was the answer Prabhupada said? When you chant the holy name sincerely, with pure. So when you chant the holy name, Guru is satisfied. When Guru is satisfied, Krishna is satisfied. This is what the sloka is also saying. Practical example Prabhupada was teaching us. So one more place he says, Haro ruste guru trata, guru ruste na kashyana, tasmat sarva prayatnena, gurum yeva prasadayet. So tasmat sarva prayatnena, in all your endeavors, gurum yeva prasadayet. One should satisfy the spiritual master. Because Haro ruste guru trata, guru ruste na kashyana. When Lord Hari is angry, your guru can protect you. But when guru is angry, no one can give you protection. Understand the guru's position. When Hari is angry, guru can go and pacify the Lord Hari and say, forgive him, forgive him. But when guru is angry, even Lord Hari cannot pacify guru. So how great is his spiritual master? That's why it says, Tasmat sarva prayatnena gurum eva prasadayet. In all your endeavors, sarva prayatnena, satisfy the spiritual master. Then further it says, this is spoken by the Supreme Lord. Pratamam tu guru pujaha tatasyaiva mamarchanam kurvan siddhim avapnoti hi anyata nishvalam bhavet. The Supreme Lord is declaring, Pratamam tu guru pujaha. One should first worship his spiritual master. Tatasyaiva mamarchanam. Then later you should worship the Supreme Lord. Kurvad siddhim avapnoti. He attains perfection in the process. Anyata nishvalam bhavet. If you do not follow this process, nishvalam, all your endeavors are of no use. That's why we start the worship with the spiritual master. When we chant the holy name also, we chant the Guru's mantra, Pranam mantra, then Panchatattva mantra, then Lord Krishna's mantra. This is what Shastra is saying for us. The justification for all the process what we do. We may not know the Sanskrit exact sloka, but these are the exact slokas. In Padma Purana, Devahuti is saying, Bhaktir yata haro mesti tadvan nishta gurau yadi mamasti tena satyena swam darshayatu harihi. So she is saying, for me, devotion to my Guru, it is more important than devotion to Lord Hari. Bhaktir yata haro me asti tadvan nishtau guro yadi. My nishta to Guru is tatra more than my bhakti to Hari. Mamasti tena satyena swam darshayatu harihi. Because if I am devoted to my spiritual master, Lord Hari will personally reveal himself to me. So, one simple point for us, simply adhere to spiritual master and Hari will reveal himself to me. Yata siddharasa sparshat tamram bhavati kanchanam sannidhanat guror evam shishyo vishnumayam bhavet. Because a chemist can change copper to gold. The spiritual master's touch makes the disciple transcendental like Vishnu himself. Like Vishnu himself means we develop all the qualities of Lord Vishnu so that we can go back to Vaikuntha. So you have to go back to Vaikuntha means you have to become like Vaikuntha Vasis. And Vaikuntha Vasis are having all qualities of the Supreme Lord, maybe in minute quantity. So what is the touch of Guru is doing to us? It is enhancing our Vaikuntha qualities, which are Vishnu qualities. So it says, finally it says, a devotee, what is his mode? Narayana mayam dhiraha pashyanti paramartinaha jagaddana mayam lubdaha kamukaha kamini mayam. So Narayana mayam dhiraha. So those who are dhiraha, those who are sober, transcendentalists, Narayana mayam, they see the entire world as Narayana, energy of Narayana. Pashyanti paramartinaha, everything is an expansion of the Lord's energy. They see everything as connected with the Lord. Everyone and everything in relation with the Lord. Just as Jagadanamayam Lubdaha. Those who are greedy people, everywhere they see money. Kamukaha Kamini Mayam. Lusty people, everywhere they see only lust. Narayana devotees see everywhere as Narayana. Our energy of the Narayana are connected with Narayana. As simple as that. So in this principle, Lord Krishna explains about the gopis' complaints to Mother Yashoda. How Krishna had performed this pastime in Vrindavan. So Lord Krishna was explaining in Adi Purana to Narada Muni this entire pastime of gopis coming and complaining to Mother Yashoda that Krishna was coming and stealing the butter and everything in their houses. So Krishna performed all kinds of naughty pastimes there in Vrindavan. Every day the love for the gopis, the gopis' love for Krishna was only increasing. Because the way how Krishna was enacting these pastimes, they were all becoming thrilled also, they were becoming enjoying that pastime also. Because every day he is finding new means how to steal butter and milk from their houses. Every day it's like a crime thriller. Every day he will come in and you plan for something else, he will come and do something else there. So every day it was like a suspense for them. So suspense, how Lord will come, when Lord will come, when will he come and steal. So that anticipation, that complete meditation upon the Lord, they were all enjoying very nicely. But at the end of the day, they used to assemble as a group and they used to complain, today Krishna came and looted my curds, my butter, my milk and all. And what is happening there? Krishna Katha was happening again. And everybody was relishing. Oh, today in his house, in your house, he did like this. In my house, he did like this. So he would enter their houses. He would take the butter pots and place them somewhere else. He will shift them. Then he would break all the pots, eat all the curd, milk and butter and kept them in them. Then the gopis would come and see. Then they would find all their pots filled with milk and would be astonished with my childhood pastimes and they would relish. Sometimes he will replace them and sometimes he will finish them and break them everything. Yashoda Mata considered Krishna only as an ordinary boy. So she was always thinking, how can this small boy create such a nuisance? Your pots are such a way somewhere in the height. This small boy is only 2 feet or 3 feet height, and you are coming and complaining he had captured that pot from there and he has stolen butter from there. You should be logical. You should be reasonable. So this boy. So the gopis were all coming and complaining to Mother Yashoda one day. Today Krishna came, he looted our house. He destroyed the house, he sprinkled everywhere. Not only he ate, he gave to the boys, he fed to the monkeys. And when the milk and curds was not visible, he passed urine there, he pinched my children, and he destroyed all the decorations in my house. Like that, various kinds of complaints were given to Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda was saying, whole day Krishna was standing in front of me here. Now how is that he came to your house? You are all saying lies. Whole day he was with me. Morning he was with Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj bathed him, everything and all. Then he was playing within the compound because all the friends came into the house only. And Balarama was also there. They were all playing within the house only, within the compound only. And from morning he was behind my sari and I was holding him. He was next to me. And Krishna was also justifying, my dear mother, see, they are all gone mad. They are coming and complaining. They wanted to create in such a situation. They wanted you to punish me. They are trying to create differences between both of us. In such a way that Krishna enacted that entire pastime, the gopis at the end of the day, they were thinking, we have become mad, we are in illusion. We have gone crazy. They became satisfied. Krishna never came to our house. It was our own children who had done that mistake. So now how the Lord was enacting that pastime, everybody were bewildered. Can you guess the potency of the Lord? So he was there in the house also, he was expanding everywhere also. Yashoda Mata was also correct, the gopis were also correct. So all the boys were going everywhere, and he used to capture a tallest boy, he used to climb on his shoulder, and he used to capture the pot, he used to break it sometimes if it is not visible. Like that, Krishna was creating all nuisance in their houses. But still, the devotees were relishing. Why they were relishing? They were all little envious on Mother Yashoda that they got Mother Yashoda got Krishna as their son, and they could not get Krishna as their son. So when they were churning, they were playing, they were singing Krishna's songs, they were singing Krishna's activities. And when you are singing about Krishna, you are inviting Krishna, please come, please accept food in my house. Because only Mother Yashoda was getting the opportunity to feed Krishna, we also want to feed you. So, but Krishna was coming not directly, but he was coming indirectly. So to give them the pleasure, to give them the experience, and to also enjoy this pastime, he was creating these various means and ways how he was coming and looting all that milk and curd and butter from their houses. So Krishna was explaining to Narada Muni this entire perspective. He says, this is how the devotees relish upon my pastimes. So after hearing my response, all the gopis were humiliated. Out of shame, they returned to their houses. They didn't say anything to my mother or to me. They all believed that they had gone mad. So what did he say? That he says, I spoke in a pitiful and charming way, with my voice choked and tears coming out of my eyes. I said, my dear mother, where are these respectable ladies coming from? Where are their houses located? I do not know what they are talking about. I think some monkeys must have come and created a mess in their house. These gopis who have come here to complain to you are in illusion, thinking that it was me who had done mess in their house. Mother, once you scared me just by holding up a stick. Since then I have never left this house and gone anywhere else. Mother, how could I have been single-handedly eaten all that milk, curd and butter? I am satisfied with the food that you feed me. Why should I steal from others' houses? These noble women are certainly not telling the truth. I don't visit other people's homes. Why are they complaining so much about me to you? You should thoroughly investigate this matter. But listening to idle gossip is not advisable. When my father is at home, he pampers and plays with me. After he leaves, you are constantly by my side. The only time I enter others' houses is if I am holding your finger. Only when you go to their house, holding your finger, I am entering their house. Then after returning from that place, I am always with you. These noble women are complaining that I and my friends have gone to their homes. My friends are all at their houses. The monkeys stay in the forest and I am always under your care. So why they are complaining like mad people to you? Even if my friends come to play, while they are here, I stay in the little garden in our house courtyard. I don't go anywhere else to play with my friends. So he is justifying the situation. So how Krishna enacts his pastimes, how he builds that rapport with his devotees, how he captures their heart, is the entire perspective of this Krishna Leela. So devotees, having completely taken shelter of the Lord, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tumhara. You hit me or you embrace me. You are our old worshipable Lord. This is what all the devotees completely taken shelter of Krishna. We saw that Govardhana Leela, where they said only Krishna, you can protect us at this particular point. And everybody felt only Krishna can protect. Indra tried to do damage, but still Krishna protected them to the complete extent. So this is their complete surrender. So Brahma is also saying, completely surrender to the situation, accept the Lord's supremacy, and be happy that Lord will come to protect us. That assurance is given by Brahma because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. He understands the mood and capacity of the Lord. So for us, accept the spiritual master, take completely his shelter and try to satisfy him all the means. That itself is sufficient for us. The Lord will reveal to us and we become eligible of going back home, back to God. So we'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jagat